Well, after being at the boat pond on Sunday, I'm sure a lot of my Facebook friends would like to know a little bit more about the RC boats. So that's what I will do now. So anyway, these are, well, I guess it's my 5 boats I have with the rescue boat. So we will start with number 1 here. This was my beginner model. For what they are, they're really good little boat. You can just buy them on Amazon or any place that sells RC equipment. They're around $200 or a little bit less, and they come with everything you need. It comes with a battery and all the electronics, and they are not bad. I had a lot of fun with it. But of course, once I got in the hobby a little bit further, I wanted a little nicer equipment. So we can move on to this one. This one I built from a kit. And it was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. After building airplanes with all of the parts, and of course the parts bag for this one was much smaller, it was still a lot of work. And it has an outboard motor, which is kind of cool. And they call these the F1 racing boats is what they call them. And as far as taking out and running it goes, it's probably my favorite boat. It's really fun to take out and run. And then these 2 boats on the end here are, this is a hydroplane, and of course this one here is a Deep V. And they're both come from the company called ProBoat. And like I mentioned in the run videos, they make excellent ready-to-run boats. They're kind of the go-to boats for people that don't want to build. So anyway, I'm sure you're interested to see what's inside here. So that's the running gear. This is the motor. And then the shaft goes back out to the back end. Or bow, I should say. And this is the electronic speed control. That's what throttles the boat. It comes off a channel on the receiver, and it's what throttles. And then the servo is over here. There's an on-off switch here. So that's what's inside. And then everything is water cooled, as you can see. It's picked up off the rudder, and then it exits the side of the boat here to cool the boat. And like in an airplane that's out in the open, the motors get cooled that way, but when they're all sealed up, there has to be a way to cool them. So that's how they do it with water cooling. There's a jacket on here, and it actually goes through the speed controller too and cools that. So that's how that all works. And this one was the one you seen in the run video. This would make a very good second boat. Actually, I would say they're probably the go-to boat for many RC boat enthusiasts. They just are very good for like a second boat. And this one here is self-righting. So you see these holes in the side of the hull here are to let water in, and then there's a chamber that goes back. Here, I'll take this off. It's going to take me a second to unscrew it here. See the chamber here? That fills with water. So if you flip it over out there, once this is filled with water, it'll self-right the boat, which is a very nice feature, of course. And then there's an exit hole in the back here to let it all out once it self-rights. And this one, there's the motor, and there's the electronic speed control here, and the receiver for this one's kind of tucked in under here, and there's the servo, and it has a very short flex shaft that where the prop goes. I have it out right now. You have to remove that every time you use it because it gets a little water in there, and everything has to be dried out. And one thing about the boats, though, it's kind of like cleaning the fish. When you get home, you can't just put them on the shelf and forget about them. That shaft has to be removed and just left out to dry. And then they're usually a little dirty, so you want to wipe them up. And then you never put the hatches back on again after a run. They should dry out at least a couple days inside. So that process happens every time you go to the boat pond. And this one here, this is my rescue boat. Pretty much my own design. Got some ideas off the internet for it. And if you're going to be in the hobby at all, you need one of these. You'll have a wire come loose, or there's 50 different things that can happen when you're out running the boats. So you actually need a rescue boat. And I was going to plug this in and show you how it works. The RC cars and boats and your ground vehicles, mostly everyone uses a wheel radio like this. The wheel, steering, and then your throttle is here. And that's how it works. And then, of course, the boats fit in between the two pontoons here. And most of the time I just push them in, even if they don't come in straight. They'll stay as long as you get something in between the two pontoons for rescue. So that is that. And I guess that's about it for the boats. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.